Cool. All right. Welcome, everyone. Like Michael mentioned, this is our first ever event with all our customers here, so I'm beyond excited. And I want to start by talking about our journey so far. So we started with Alex, my co-founder here, 9 years ago. And what we've been doing over the years is like visit a lot of you guys. So we show up at your office, we create your macros, we create your rules with you guys, we troubleshoot the integrations. We just try to make these things work. And personally, as a founder, like this experience of spending time with you guys in person, hearing about your problems is like truly the meaning of everything we do. So I'm very thankful for the events team organizing this, for all of you to show up today, so that we have this in-person time with like so many Gorgias partners and customers. So thanks a lot for coming over here. And thanks for putting your trust in us. You can see like we have some wonderful people here at Gorgias, and that wouldn't happen with all of you putting your trust in us as your help desk. So very much appreciate it. I wanted to acknowledge this. All right, cool. So I want to talk about what it is to be a CX leader. It's a pretty hard job because you guys are on the front lines with customers every single day. I was talking to some brands yesterday, and they were telling me they were launching a new product, and of course, there was one or two things that didn't go as planned. And so what happens is like the support team is the one that hears about it from the customers, and then needs to go one by one to solve these problems with the customers. So this is a pretty challenging job. And the thing is, this job tends to get harder year after year. We have a new challenge from customers that comes every single year. So we have TikTok DMs. Customers are getting on TikTok Shop and reaching out to our business, doing the same on Instagram DMs. They expect like almost instantaneous responses, and they don't really care if you have a one-person support team or a 100% support team. You have to be up to the challenge. And so what we want to do today is to talk about how is it that you guys and us can all like live up to this challenge and improve customer experience to meet these customers' expectations. I want to tell you about a personal anecdote that comes to mind when I think of great CX. I grew up in a town in Normandy, so you might tell from the accent. And there was like of course, like Main Street with like a bunch of shops over there. And I'm not the most fashionable person, but with my sister, we would go to like the local apparel store to buy pretty much all our clothes. And this store was owned by a guy named Michael. So here is Michael coming to the stage over here from my childhood. And what Michael did extremely well is that we were not Michael's biggest customers. But every time we would walk into the store, it would like make us feel very special. And there was something like truly special about this interaction that we had with the founder of the store. Michael went out of his way to give us an all-star customer experience. So when there was a sale, what he would do is like text us, like, hey, Roman, I have this thing that you might like. I know that this is a bit different from your style, but trust me, it's going to be good for this one. And then he would like save it just for us so that we could make sure to get it as the sale started. When we had to exchange a product, Michael would make it like super easy for us to resolve our problems. And so every time I think about like what is great CX, I think of this experience I had connecting directly with the founder. And I ask myself, like, how is it that us collectively, when we serve like so many customers, way more than Michael, how can we reproduce the Michael experience in the store? So let's take a look at how we are doing collectively. Everyone in this room, you support, on average, customers on 4 channels. And I'm pretty proud of the chat. I mentioned we started 9 years ago. 9 years ago, like chat was like, it's hard to launch chat, to make sure you staff it, to make sure you have a good experience there. I think almost everyone in the room provides chat to their customers. So that's awesome. We also have social. You guys respond on average within 10 hours to your customers. That's much, much, much better than what we see elsewhere in the industry. And your customers love you for this, and you have a 4.6 CSAT on average. Again, much better than what we see elsewhere in e-commerce. So I think it's worth just taking a sec to appreciate that and give a round of applause to all the support professionals here. So today, we want to talk about how together we can take this experience even further. how can we give a Michael experience to all of our customers 24/7? This is where AI comes in. Over the last few months, we've been iterating with some of you in this very room on figuring out like, what is the way we could leverage AI to improve customer experience? So today, I'm pretty excited to announce our latest product release, AI Agent. So what is AI Agent? AI Agent is your newest team member. It knows your customers, just like Michael does, and it instantly responds to your customers' most common questions and take actions to resolve them. I've been working on this personally with 3 of my friends at this point, which is a beauty brand, Glamnetic, out of LA. I don't know if you're familiar with them. I was not a customer at first, but I became a customer for some of my close friends. So I think what I like a lot about Glamnetic is that you have Mia here on the left, which is like one of the smartest support professionals I ever met. Like she's super creative, always comes up with new ideas. Then you have Jacqueline, and then you have Kevin, who's here with us today. I don't know if he's in the room yet. So Kevin is the founder of Glamnetic, so we've worked with the whole group to figure out how we can put AI Agent to work and improve customer experience. So let's start by looking at what are the type of questions Mia's team is getting. You can see here, shipping is by far the #1 question she's getting from customers. So let's take a look at how AI Agent is doing on the shipping questions. So Michael mentioned it at the beginning, but we have a pretty amazing events team over here at Gorgias, Anna and Brittany. And this morning, what I did is like, hey, I'm gonna like get a present for them to thank them for everything they did. So I went onto the Glamnetic website and found like, I won't mention what item it is, so you truly have the surprise when you get it. But I went onto the website to get some products for you guys. The thing is, after LA, I'm going to Toronto with the rest of the crew next week, and I just want to check in and make sure like things are on track. My order is going to get to Toronto on time so that I can get it to the team. All right, so let's get AI Agent ready. All right, so I'm going to be on my phone and pray the gods of demos to hope that everything works fine. And we'll see. All right, so I'm going to email support@glamnetic.com. Here, this is my Gmail. So where is my order? The classic Wismo we all know about. And of course, I have some macros on my Gmail to insert this question. And I'm going to send this message. All right, cool. So now, let's take a look at what's happening behind the scenes with AI Agent. So what I mentioned at the beginning is that AI Agent knows your customers. So AI Agent is going to like get my request and then fetch what's going on. So that's going to mean it's going to fetch the Shopify order, like the data in Shipmonk, which is their WMS, a bunch of other tools to have the full context about me. Then what we've done with Mia and the team is we've worked a lot on building what we call guidance. And what guidance is essentially all the business processes that they have. So you can see one on the screen that is how to deal with Wismos. It may sound easy because we were having some conversations actually at lunch yesterday on the topic, and Wismo is not like, hey, where's my order? Here is your tracking. Have a great day. That's not how it works. The way it works is that you need to look at like all the cases where you ship to the US, it has left the warehouse, but it's been more than 5 days, and your SLA is like 3 days. So in that case, what you do is like you resend it to the customer, but maybe there's a storm and you don't know about it, and you have a different policy. So all of this complexity goes into the guidance so that we tell AI Agent, this is how you should handle the Wismo request. So then AI Agent takes the order information. It takes all the guidance we have. In this case, we are in scenario 1. You can see on the slide, order status inquiry within 2 business days of order being placed. And then it's going to fetch this, use that to respond to the customer, and then send that response over to my email. So now, here is the moment of truth. let's see. So, and just one thing to mention is like, it takes about 1 minute for AI agent to run. So what happens, like the process I just described, like takes about 30 seconds. And then we have a QA step. And during that QA step, what we do is like we check that the response that has been sent to the customer is safe, corresponds to the policy. And then all of this goes to a separate queue where we have like all the responses that AI agent has given. And the team can go on it and QA to make sure that the responses are good. Cool. All right. So I'm going to head over to my Gmail. Hold on 1 second. And there we go. All right. Apple is not failing me, and AI agent is not as well. OK. So there we go. I just got a response from AI agent that's telling, hey, thanks for reaching out. It recognized the order number, you can see. So it fetched the right order number. Then I ordered this morning. So it says, hey, you're within SLAs. You're going to have a tracking number with this URL to track it. You're going to get it on time. Cool. Everything's fine. I got the right response. Good job, AI agent. You responded to my first question successfully. All right. This one was probably the easier one. You want another one? OK. All right. Let's increase the complexity. So as you guys know, we also have questions that are order edits. Customer is at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and they realize they want to change something to the order, and we need to make that change pretty fast. Turns out, as much as I know e-commerce delivery questions, it also happened to me when I placed this order. And we have, so actually, Gorgias Toronto is growing fast. We have the first floor in the office. We're moving to the 4th floor, and I didn't realize we're moving from floor 1 to floor 4. So I need to make an edit to my order. So we're going to go back to my Gmail over here. And so this time, there's going to be this up. So order edits. And I think this is the shortcut I have. Yeah, so this is our Canadian address, 72 Fraser. If you guys want to visit us, you're always welcome to hang out at the office. And the suite is 101. This is what I put in the order. I want to change this from 101 to 401. So I'm going to send this over. And there we go, just like that. We're going to put AI agent to the test a second time. So what's interesting is that the first case was about giving information to customers. In that case, we use Help Center, which you guys already have, and then we use Guidance, which are what we've been building to collect your business logic. Then, on top of this, what tends to happen is that you need to make typically like actions in the rest of your stack. And so that's the good thing about Gorgias is that for the last 9 years, we've built like the Recharge integration, Klaviyo integration, Shopify integration. So we connected with the rest of the stack. And typically, what your agents find themselves doing is they get the request from the customer. They need to find what is the relevant policy to respond to that customer. So they use the guidance. And then from there, they need to take actions in third-party tools. So what we've done with Mia, in their case, is that we had to connect to Shopify because they make changes in Shopify itself. We connected with Shipmonk, which is the warehouse management software where they need to make other changes. The gift card tool that they have so that we can like increase the gift card balance of a customer. We also work with shipping insurance vendors to file claims on behalf of the customer directly. And so we are able to essentially like have all of these actions and give them to agents so that agent can resolve the case for the customer. So here is the one we're going to use here. It's edit order shipping address in Shopify. So pretty basic. What I think is interesting to notice for this particular case is you don't want AI agent to like go crazy. So you want to make sure you give it boundaries that it can follow. Here, we have order status is not fulfilled, you see at the bottom. So obviously, we don't want to tell the customer you can still change your address if the order has shipped already. It's like way too late. So we have these filters. And in this case, I placed my order recently. I'm fine. I can still change the shipping address. So we should be able to edit the order address. So again, I'm going to hope for the best in terms of how everything goes and take a look at how things are going on my phone over here. Hold on 1 sec. So I'm going to go to my sent messages. Yeah, that's because I don't want to mess up with their fulfillment problem. But good catch. OK, all right. So let's take a look here. And there we go. Cool. OK, all right. So boom. All right. We can see my phone. And so here you have AI agent that responds, hey, I know this is your order number. I changed the address to 401. Great. It worked. We're in a good spot. Second customer request, resolved. Feeling great about this. Cool. All right. So these are like some of the most common use cases you can get, giving information to customers or editing orders. Then what's happening usually in e-commerce is that you tend to have like a long list of other things, which is like removing an item, like changing the shipping method, like a bunch of other stuff like that. So what tends to happen in this case is you could use AI agent to respond to these, but the other thing you can do is say, they're actually quite sensitive. I don't want to be taking risks. So what I'm going to do instead is just like give it to my team so that they handle it themselves in the way I want. And so here is an example of this. We have a customer that says, hey, I'd like to remove or add an item to my order. And what Mia wants to do in this case is to say, I'd rather have this to be escalated to my agents. So what we do is we give this to AI agent, who's drafting a response over here. And what's interesting to notice is, like, first, it's escalating the ticket to the agents. So we're following the process. We are fine. But the thing that's much, much, much better than the usual experience we would give to our customers is usually we have autoresponders. And these autoresponders are like, we open Monday, Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Like, that's like not truly helping. Whereas here, like what AI agent is doing is like, it knows the customer. So it's saying, hey, thanks for reaching out. I understand the problem. This is how we're going to help. I'm going to escalate, which is already a better experience because you acknowledge what is truly happening. So that's a third case, which is a handover. All right. So that gives you like probably a good view of like what are the things that AI agent can do. Now, what I want to talk about is what is the impact that it has on your business. First off, everybody in this room, if you want, you can have 1 minute response time for BFCM, which is a huge deal for your customers. Second is because you have an incredible response time, that means you have also like pretty high satisfaction. And so in the case of Glamnetic, like these are actual numbers, 4.9 CSAT, which is pretty incredible. So agents responds really fast, and your CSAT goes up, which is fantastic to see. Cool. So yesterday, I was having some conversations with some of you on the hot topic of the moment, which is AI. And some of you were sharing, hey, sure, it's exciting, but I have some concerns. Like, what's going to happen to my team? Is that going to like replace their jobs? We need to understand this a little bit better. So I want to share what's going on with Glamnetic because I think it's a pretty good example to understand what are the dynamics that happen when you implement AI agents. Typically, what happened to them is that they had all this time that became available. And so what's interesting to understand in their case is that the opportunity that was unlocked by AI agent was vastly offsets the risk that they were seeing at first. So what the team is doing is that they're spending more time to QA the tickets they have with customers, which means they can spot problems, they can change the processes they have and improve the customer experience. So that part is great already. And then they do even more than this. They started selling on the website. So here is a screenshot of the Glamnetic website. And what Jacqueline and Mia are doing is having campaigns that pop to website visitors so that if you hang out on the Glamnetic website and you're like, hey, maybe I'd like to speak with a beauty expert who can make like the right recommendation for me and find the exact right product that I need, I can just like hand over to the right, start a chat, and then start interacting with the team. Something that's interesting for all of us being in CX is that when we say, hey, we're increasing the conversion of the website, maybe you go to Kevin, and Kevin is like, sure, that's all great, but what would happen if you were not doing this? And it's hard to have a great answer to this question. So what we've done is just run an A/B test to see what is it that's happening. What happens when you don't speak with the team? What happens when we have these prompts so that you can speak with the team? And I'm pretty excited to report that with Mia, we were able to reach a 5% GMV lift, which is huge for them. Like if it's a $10 million business, that's 500K of additional revenue. So pretty big win right here. The way we've done it is to use Gorgias Convert, one of our newest products. So what it does is it allows you to engage your customers, it allows you to test your campaigns and to iterate on them, and this way you can drive conversion. On this note, you can expect more from us. We're going to do more to help you increase revenue that you have from your support. So this is the first attempt, and we'll keep pushing so that you guys can have more ways to actually lift the revenue of your store. Sounds good? Cool. Thanks. Cool. All right. So I want to talk about what is the opportunity that everybody in this room has for BFCM. First off, everyone can provide 24/7 instant responses to your customers during Black Friday, Cyber Monday with AI Agent. What it's going to lead to is to automate up to 60% of your tickets if you do this work of like making sure you have a good help center, you have the right guidance, you connect your actions, and that's a pretty solid customer experience. I just moved to a new place, ordered like 50 different things from a lot of merchants and elsewhere on the internet, and I think it's just hard to have to wait to get your answers to your problems resolved. So it's just amazing when the brand can do it in 1 minute. Second is I think it's going to dramatically change the job of everyone in this room. You're going to have more time to focus on quality, and you're going to have more time to focus on driving sales with results that can be as good at what Mia experiences, which is a 5% GMV lift, which is pretty incredible. All right, so I'll be in the Genius Bar later today. Really happy to talk about this stuff, and if you have questions, we'd love to cover them with you.